Well, we're going to go back to the Middle East and talk about a very tiny country. Some people call it Qatar, some people call it Qatar. Its claim to fame is it's home to a U.S. military base. Its other claim to fame, it's one of the top suppliers of money to Hamas and sanctuary for Hamas leadership. So somehow or other, the world is now counting on Qatar to help negotiate a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Yet experts are questioning whether the country's ruling family is a reliable partner in the process. Chris Mitchell explains.
In 2022, the Biden administration designated Qatar as a major non-NATO ally. That designation carries military and economic privileges, as well as what the State Department calls a powerful symbol of the close relationship with the United States. Qatar also hosts CENTCOM, the largest U.S. base in the Middle East.
Qatar is an Islamist sponsor of terrorism.
Yigal Karman, the founder of MEMORY, the Middle East Media Research Institute, strongly disagrees with the U.S. views of Qatar, calling it a longtime sponsor of Hamas.
Qatar gave them billions of dollars over the years. They became a tiny empire, military empire. All the missiles to Tel Aviv, all the almost 40,000 weapon holders, killers, all the drones, all the motorcycles, all their equipment, everything.
Israeli attorney Netzana Darshan-Leitner tells CBN News the country uses its charities to funnel money to the terror group.
The Qatari Foundation, which is a huge charity in Qatar, gives hundreds of millions of dollars to the charity organizations of Hamas in Gaza. But the charity organizations of Hamas in Gaza are Hamas. They give food for the people in order to be loyal to Hamas. They share the same facilities with Hamas. They pay the salaries of the militants of Hamas.
Qatar's ruling Al Thani family also hosts the top leaders of Hamas, like Ismail Haniyeh. Karman also accuses Qatar of being a sworn enemy of regional U.S. allies like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Egypt. Lately, other voices like Rabbis United and Rabbi Penny Dunner demonstrated outside Qatar's Los Angeles consulate to publicly pressure the country's rulers.
We want that to end, and Qatar has the power to do it. They are ostensibly an ally of America. Is this the way allies behave? I don't think so.
No!
And if that's the case, they should change their ways and make a difference. They can do it.
Karman questions why the administration doesn't recognize the issue and force Qatar's hand. In January, the Biden administration renewed the CENTCOM military lease for another 10 years. Karman says the U.S. could have used relocating the base as leverage.
It's so easy. Just see if you can relocate. Qatar will become the best ally for America, in truth. But now it's a Trojan horse. Why should they do anything? America is happy with them anyway. Being anti-American, this is an enigma. Why embrace a power that is Islamist, that is supporter of terrorism, that belongs to the bloc of Iran, Russia, China?
While Karman and others wait for the U.S. to potentially remove Qatar from its position of influence, the country will likely straddle the geopolitical fence between being a U.S. ally and also standing with the enemies of America. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Yet another example in our foreign policy where we really can't get it straight. If a country is a state sponsor of terrorism, if you're funneling money to terrorist groups, and Hamas is a terrorist group, it's recognized by our government, it's on the terror list. The State Department is quite clear saying Hamas is a terrorist group. So the next part of that law is anyone providing money to a terrorist group is subject to sanctions under U.S. law. Why doesn't that apply to our own State Department and to our own government? Why do we have this weird double standard? Is it really worth a military base? Is it really worth that kind of where your whole integrity is at stake? We need to be consistent in how we lead the free world, and we need to stand for principles. And one of those principles needs to absolutely be, if you're a terrorist group, we're going after you. If you're funding a terrorist group, we're going after you too.